Now this is a machine right here. I think the guy told me that this thing sells for brand new. I think he said around, it was either 250,000 or 225. Either 225,000 or 300,000, I can't remember. That's a big machine. And it, wow. That's the machine they use to cut the logs to length before they load them up onto the log truck. The yellow part right there is what does the actual cutting. Once they measure it, they kind of know how to move the boom to kind of get it to length where they want to cut it. And that's the machine that they use to haul all the trees that have been cut. This machine right here is the one that does the cutting. And once they cut it and drop them and stack them kind of, you know, on top of each other, then they come over here with that part right there, grab onto them and drag them and bring them close, just like they have that pile over there. That pile is dragged by that machine, and then he'll grab them one by one, cut them to length. The log truck will be like right here, and then he'll just load them up and stack them on top. When he's full, he'll take them to the mill. So that's kind of like how it goes. But anyway, it is a work in progress. On this side here, they got most of the pines. They're gonna come back and get all the hardwoods that are like 12 inches in diameter, about breast height. Well, I never thought that this would happen so soon, but it did. I had my property clear cut. For those of you that don't know, I purchased this 100-acre property back in January of 2021. And in February, about the middle of February of 2023, this year, I went on ahead and had my property clear cut. Now, I say it was clear cut, and I'm going to show you here some footage in just momentarily. The entire property is not completely level flat. There's still a bunch of underbrush, a bunch of oak trees that were left, smaller oak trees, big mature oak trees, but all the pine, all the harvestable pine, which is the longleaf pine, was taken off the property, and a good chunk of the hardwoods was taken off. But I still have plenty of hardwoods on here, and looking at the video, it almost looks like it wasn't like any trees, none of the trees was even taken off of it. I mean, it was pretty thick with, actually there was a lot more hardwood trees on this property than I had even imagined. So let me give you a background. The previous owners that owned this property, this 100 acres was planted by longleaf pine, which is a native pine for here in the South in Alabama and other parts of the country, but it's a native here to Alabama, certainly. And they had it clear cut. Now I say clear cut because they didn't completely flatten the land. They didn't take every single standing piece of timber. They did leave an X amount of pine trees per acre because their intention was to let the land naturally regenerate. That was number one. Number two, my understanding was that they didn't want to completely wipe out the land because they wanted to leave some trees for the previous owner, because I guess they thought, you know, the land would sell easier with some trees than completely wiped out bare ground. So they did leave an X amount of trees on here. Now, my original intention, I didn't think this would happen so quickly. My original intention was not to take out the rest of these pines. What I wanted to do was to do a controlled burn on the entire property, get rid of all the underbrush, because it's so thick in a lot of places you can't even walk. You can't see, you know, 5 feet, 10 feet in front of you is so thick. Not all of it, but a lot of places. Not only that, but it's so thick that all the other pines are having a hard time to grow. The natural regenerating pines are having a hard time to grow because of all the underbrush. So I wanted to get rid of all the competing underbrush that was competing with the pine, burned. Well, things just kind of started happening. It's kind of a, you know, that's a whole different story. And we went on ahead and decided to go ahead and get it clear cut. And again, like I said, I didn't have the entire property clear cut. There's still a bunch of oak trees that you will see. Now, I will probably next year, I'm going to have this whole entire property, all the trees gone, like completely flat. My goal is to keep a few of the nice mature white oaks, specifically the white oaks and the hickory, to leave them, as many as I possibly can, on the property when all the remaining underbrush is burned, chopped up, mulched up, taken to the ground. And I'm going to get this whole place, or the majority of it, replanted in longleaf saplings and start the whole process all over again. But anyway, I just wanted to go kind of give you a little background of what's happened, and to go ahead and let you know that I did get all the pine trees cut. So I hope you enjoy the video, and just comment down below, let me know what you think.
This will be done way before I can see, I hope.
Oh, yeah. Yep. Cut them out.
Well, just got to the property here not long ago, and the loggers finally left yesterday, which was March the 16th. I'm sorry, March the 15th. Today is the 16th, and they started in February the 17th. So they were here almost a month, 4 weeks shy of like 2 days. But this is kind of like what it looks like after they finish. They still got tons and tons of oak trees. I actually had more oak trees than I thought I had, even more than they thought. So this is what they left. I didn't want them to cut the really nice oak trees like that, the nice mature red oaks. and I didn't want them to cut any of my hickory trees, but I told them to cut all the other hardwoods. But I had so many water oaks that they didn't want to take them all because they wouldn't produce any money, so they just left them. They only took what, you know, out of the species of trees that I wanted them to take. As far as the oak trees, they only took the ones that would make them money, and I kind of understand that. But anyway, I still got a lot of oak trees left, and I got a lot of underbrush here. A lot of, I think this is yopon or privet. I'm not sure what it's called. I think it's called yopon, but anyway, it's a very invasive species around here. This is the really nice view of this ridge that I got over here as you come in the gate from over there. And this is kind of a good place to possibly build a house someday. I'm kind of looking to see where I'd want to build a house. There's a nice spot right over here where this little orange dirt area is right there where I'm pointing my finger. This area right here. But the only thing is it drops down pretty fast right here. So it goes down in the valley, but this would really be a nice area to put a house, possibly. And then, man, I would have a really nice view. You could see all the way down there. Once that underbrush gets cleared, I could watch wildlife, and it would be absolutely beautiful. I have plenty of pine seeds here. These are little pine trees that have grown from seed. So there's a bigger one. I got that one over there. I got tons all over the property. Because those big pine trees over there are the mature ones, and those are the ones that, you know, throw the seed down at certain times of the year. I think it's like in October. And then the seeds catch root. But anyway, I'm going to just kind of take you around and show you the damage. It actually doesn't look as bad as I expected it to when they first started. Got to be careful for snakes because we do have some big, huge rattlesnakes around here. Though I've never seen one yet, as long as I've owned the property for a couple of years now. But I'm told by neighbors that they are humongous around here. Ones that'll knock you down if they bite you. They left some good hardwood over there. Those are pieces they couldn't take and make any money off of. But that'll make some good firewood. Already cut and stacked. I just need to go up there and bucket and split it, and I can sell some firewood, make some money off of that. But this area right here is just kind of open, as you can see, because this is where they use this trail, one of the many trails, to drag the cut down trees to the processing area. So that's a really, really beautiful red oak right there. Absolutely gorgeous. I love red oaks. Nice dogwood tree over here. I got another dogwood tree over there, way over there. I don't know if you probably can't see it, but I got several of them staggered everywhere. These are the water oaks right here. See, they could have took that water oak over there, that big one right there, but I don't know why they didn't take that. And I got a big water oak over there, that one there. That's a red oak. I want to keep that for sure. But anyway, you can see way down there. I mean, through them tree lines, I can see way down there. That's a nice trail. Anyway, this is just so beautiful. Now that I can see the topography of the land, it kind of helps me out to decide where I would possibly build one day. That was one of the reasons why I decided to get this cleared. It's because my land's got a lot of character. It's got valleys and ridges and everything else, and I wanted to get it cleared, be able to see it, try to find the best place to put the house, to have the best view, because I only got one shot at it. So anyway, this really opens things up for me. But man, springtime is just so beautiful out here in South Alabama. It's absolutely gorgeous. It's about 72 degrees right now, nice and dry and breezy. My pond, I've got a pond way back there, straight back. I wished it was kind of closer to the house. I would have loved to have it closer so I could, it's really a small pond. It's not a very big pond. It's just like a natural small pond, almost like a little beaver pond. Not very big at all. But I do have a bunch of natural springs bubbling out of the ground over there. in the creek that runs through the property. I've got several. It's one creek, but then there's some other creeks that branch off the main one. And that would be a good place to make a big pond, maybe several acres. But even if I did turn that into a nice pond and put some fish in it, you know, my house is way over there. I don't know how far, it'd be a few hundred yards away. So, you know, I'd have to have all this cleared to be able to even see the pond, unless I built right up there closer to it. And that may be a little bit too far back in the property. So I got to think about utilities too, how much it's going to cost to run power over there. So all that comes into play when trying to make these decisions. But I'm just kind of letting you know, I'm kind of giving you a tour of the property a little bit. Look how beautiful that is over there. This goes down like this, and there's a like a gully or a little valley under there, and then it goes up on the ridge like that. Absolutely gorgeous. This would even be a nice place to build right here. I mean, you know, it does go up the ridge. The main road is from the camper over there. That's the main road that goes on top of the ridge. So from the ridge, you know, it's probably above my head right now. So it does slope down slightly like this gradually. It doesn't look bad, you know, as far as just looking at it, but you can tell it is going down. It's coming down this way towards me. So this would be a good, nice, you know, good place to build. You know, it doesn't have to be like right up next to the road over there at the highest point, because the water can still go down. You know, it's not like it's gonna flood me out or anything like that. There's a part of the property that has it's real sandy soil, very sandy. Look at that. And there's a lot of palmettos that grow over here. So, I mean, they're knocked down over here, but you can see them up there through that brush over there. And here's a bunch of palmettos. Palmettos like real sandy soil. And reminds me of Florida. Florida's really sandy parts of it, and palmettos thrive over there. But this is the part of the property. Even though it's beautiful, I don't know if I'd want to build on this soil, being number one, that it's so sandy, which, you know, it can be done. But I'm also looking at soil quality as far as like possibly planting, you know, planting a garden, fruit trees like that. I kind of want to have that closer to the house. And I do have some parts of this property that has some really dark black organic rich soil, topsoil. Oh my goodness, it's so dark. Maybe if I find some I can show it to you. But the dozer guys over here are repairing the roads right now, because the trucking company kind of rutted the roads a little bit, hauling the lumber out, you know, the log truck. So he's out here fixing the roads for me. So that's why I met him out here. That was one reason. See, right here is what I'm talking about. This is a nice flat area. This area here is more flat. In other words, it's a bigger area than it is up there where I first showed you, closer to the camper. And but this is quite a bit further back. Okay, here's some good soil right here where I was at, where I just showed you. Some real dark soil. Now this top part don't look dark because it's dry, but if you dig in, you can see how dark it is. Oops, there you go. I mean, there's darker in other areas. Let's see if I can block the sunlight. There you go. So you can see it right there. It's darker, you know, in other areas, but this is much better than down there where the palmettos are. And see, this is a nice big area. This is kind of like in my top 3 areas right here for a good home site right here. But I do have a big gut, well, a good sized gully over here. That's real sandy. I'll try to show it to you. I mean, it's just really good for nothing, this area. So it's just a big, kind of like a big hole. That right here is the top of the ridge, and then there's just kind of a big hole here. And I'm sure it could be filled in. This here could be filled in with dirt. But this would be an awesome, I think an awesome home site right here. And then this is the main road right there coming through there. And I could just make a driveway right in there. There's my dozer guy clearing the roads, fixing them. He's doing a mighty fine job. All right, this is towards the back part of the property right here. This area here is really, really rich in black soil, but it's towards the back, so. But nonetheless. I'm gonna give you some footage what it looks like 5.5 months later after it got clear cut. It's amazing how fast things grow. This underbrush has gotten quite a bit bigger since then. All right, enjoy. Here we go. This is another 80-acre parcel that I also own right here. This is just part of it. I'm just looking at they sprayed for Kogan grass right over there. See how it's dead? And right over there. It's a real invasive species around here. And I had it sprayed. I'm just coming to look at it. Now check this out. This is a tortoise hole right here. They built a big long tunnel, and this is pretty fresh right here. Hadn't been long ago since he dug that one out, but here's another one of his holes, or she. That's another hole, and this looks like he might have just went in there because the dirt is kind of fresh, if you can see that. Looks like they might have just went in or something. But yeah, that's pretty neat. This is where we came from before we went up across the road over there, and this is my brother's parcel. He's also got 100 acres, and his is right next to mine. We're on his property right now. Well, I hope you guys enjoy the video. I am about to head to the truck, get this four-wheeler loaded up and go home. It's getting late. Looks like we might get a shower. Clouds are dark and I can hear thunder rumbling. So if you like this video, guys, give me a thumbs up. And if y'all want to see a tour of the property, y'all leave that in the comments and just let me know, and I'll be glad to do that for y'all sometime. Just depends on how many people's interested in a property tour. So anyway, guys, until next time, I'll see y'all very soon. Y'all take care.